and welcome to more Tales of the Wandering Bard. This here is Daniel, my host in Copenhagen, and we're going to play some D&D. I think we're going to be making a new character. You want to tell them what you just told me?
Yeah, I was thinking about making a rogue character. Someone who likes to shake things up.
Someone that likes to thrive on chaos.
Thrive on chaos, that sort of thing. Doing evil deeds if needed.
Well, let's roll some stats. 4d6, drop the lowest. And we'll see where... Reroll anything that drops off the go. Okay, so that's a 13.
Okay, so I just put those down here.
Yeah, we'll just write them down and we'll arrange them as needed.
And I have to do that how many times?
7. 13 again. 14.
That's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, these are all well above average. 10. No. Well, I mean, they're all the higher end of average, I should say.
Yeah.
14. 16. There you go.
16.
That's a nice high stat. 13. I think, is that 7?
Yeah.
Okay. So, next step is to figure out how you want your stats to be arranged.
Yeah.
If you're going rogue, probably dexterity would be
Dex.
higher, unless you have something else in mind, but probably dex would be...
Yeah.
16 dex is a bonus of 2 to armor class, plus 1 to hit with missile weapons. Yeah, be good for thief skills.
And plus 1 to hit, does that, that's not melee weapons at all?
No, just thrown or shot. Yeah.
Okay. I was picturing like a knife guy.
Mm-hmm.
Likes knives. Can you throw knives?
Yeah, you can throw those.
I'll take 16 dex. Just right dex?
Well, let's do right strength dex, STR, and down the line. So just STR, DEX, CONINT, WIL, CHR, and...
Got a bad pen.
Pens are running out.
I have to find them all.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
13, 13, 14, 10, 14, 16, 13. So 3 13s, 2 14s, a 10, and a 16.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing below 10?
No.
Alright.
CHR and PCP for the last 2.
Alright. So, 16 dex is a good idea.
Yeah.
I'm thinking what I had in mind was a pretty good charisma. So 14 charisma, I suppose, thingy. And, well, they were all good. So
They're all good. It's hard to go wrong here. What do you want to be your worst stat? Your most, the 10, the very average person stat.
maybe the strength.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go 14 con, 13 and 13. Is it 3, 13? Yeah, like so. So 10 strength, 16 dex, 14 con, 13 intelligence, 13 willpower, 14 charisma, and 13 perception.
Okay. Very good. I think for these, the important things we need to note is Dex is going to give you +2 AC and +1 to hit with missile. And this is 3 languages. Forgive my sloppy handwriting.
I can read it.
All right. The other rolls you need to make are a D6 for HP. It has to be at least a 3. There you go. 5 HP. Then you need 2d6, and we're going to multiply that by 10 for how much gold you start with. So 50 gold. There, you're going to probably want a pencil for your money. It's going to change a lot.
Oh, yeah. It's going to go up, Neil.
Well, first it's going to go down, then it'll go up.
50 gold.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's see. And we need your thief skills, which let me look them up exactly. Rogue, here you go. Get ready to write a bunch of shit down.
Yep.
So, pickpockets.
Mm-hmm.
Open locks.
Mm-hmm.
Find traps.
Mm-hmm.
Move silently.
Yes.
Hide in shadows.
Yep.
Detect noise.
Yep.
Climb walls.
Nice. Yes.
And read languages.
So these are all something I just have.
Right. And then
Oh, I should have wrote in it.
probably should have done vertically.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to get some percentages on those, and they're going to change based on your stats and your race.
I'm human, I think.
Okay.
Can I decide which ones are the highest?
Mm-hmm. So we're going to start with some things, and then we'll add some points to them as well. So the initial points for each one, let me know when you're done. I'll just tell you in line.
I'm done.
Okay, so pickpockets is going to start at 15%.
Yeah.
15. Yeah, so just we're going to go down the whole list. So 15 for pickpockets, 10 for open locks, 5 for traps, 10 for move silently, 5 for hide in shadows, 15 for detect noise, 60 for climb walls,
60?
60, and nothing for read languages. Your humans, no racial bonuses. You have 16 dexterity, so your open locks gets another +5.
So I write 15 or +5?
+5, because we're going to keep adding things to
Okay.
it, so it's going to get bigger.
Open locks +5, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now we have to decide what type of armor you want to wear, because that affects things next. If you wear
Oh.
no armor, your 4 of these abilities will go up by 5 to 10%. If you wear leather armor, there's no change. If you wear like padded or hide or studded leather armor, like thicker armor, they go down by a lot.
I'm just going to wear leather.
Leather? Okay, so no more change to those then. The next thing for that is you have 60 more points, and you can divide it up however you would like, as long as you don't do more than half to any one.
Okay.
So you could do 30 to 1, 15 to 2, you could do 10 to 6, however you want.
Okay. So I'm gonna put 20 in open locks.
Okay.
I'm gonna put 10 in move silent.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna put 15 in hide and shadows.
Mm-hmm.
Then I have 15 left, right?
Yeah. I wasn't paying attention.
60 points, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to put 15 in pickpocket.
Okay.
I've never done this before, Neil, so this could totally screw it up, but yeah.
So let's just total those up so we have a list on the side.
No more adding.
Not until you level up again.
And 16. Like so.
Yep. That's pretty good. Then we got to decide what weapons you use. You get 2 weapon proficiencies, and they should be small, simple thief weapons. So you could do a short sword. You could even do a long sword or a short bow or not. You said knives earlier.
Yeah.
Something like that. But nothing like a 2-handed sword or
no.
a war spear.
I'm thinking knife and short bow.
Okay. Just make a note, weapon proficiency.
And the knives I can use both melee
stabbing
and
throwing.
Yeah.
And you can throw 2 per round.
So what did you said? You said I
just write weapon proficiencies.
Yeah.
Somewhere and knife and short bow. I think in game terms, a dagger is pretty much the same thing, just a little bit higher stats. So I recommend dagger over knife. It's a little bit heavier, costs a little bit more money. But it does D4 instead of D3 damage.
But it can still be thrown.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll do that.
Yeah, they have the same rate of fire and everything.
Oh, dagger.
No.
All right.
Cool. Now you have 6 non-weapon proficiencies. So 6 things you know how to do, like swimming, tumbling, mountaineering, reading, etc., etc.
All right.
There's a big fat list which I can give you to look at if you'd like, or you can just kind of pick things and we'll figure it out as we go along.
I want read and write. Is that one?
That's going to cost 2 because you're
That's 2.
a thief instead of a wizard or a cleric.
Okay.
You can do that. So put non-weapon proficiencies down somewhere and put reading and writing. Leaves you with 4 more points.
Swimming.
Swimming, it's a good one.
Do I need that? What other thief things are there? Yeah.
These are the explicitly thief ones.
Yeah. Which one quiz? Okay.
And there's also a large list of general proficiencies at the top.
Let's go appraising.
Okay.
And I really want to pick tightrope walking.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna. Yeah, musical instrument. Can I have one of those?
Yeah.
I'll have a lute.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll just write them down before I forget.
Grazing and loot.
And oh my god.
This is the general list.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna have singing.
Okay.
And can I have writing as the last one?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Singing and writing.
Okay.
This is such a random rogue.
Okay. Let's see. What else do we need for your character?
A name?
A name would be good. The height and weight and appearance, that sort of thing.
I have his first name. Mm-hmm. His first name is going to be Dirk.
Dirk?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe just Dirk.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tall person, short person,
Average person.
Average
Maybe a
height,
little
average
small.
weight. Okay.
Nimble.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and put a height and weight down in centimeters and kilos, or pounds and inches, whatever.
Height and weight. What more? General description.
Yeah, just a general description.
So 170 centimeters, 65 kilos. Is that?
I have no idea what that is in pounds
I
and feet, but if that
don't know
sounds
what that
about
is.
right.
Yeah. That's a real small person compared to me, but
Well, you're like 6'4" or something?
yeah, I'm 201 centimeters.
Centimeters,
So
okay.
I don't know what
Quite
that is.
tall.
Feet. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
The leather armor didn't do anything to my AC, right?
It gives you a +2 to your AC. So your AC will be 14. So just mark that elsewhere, somewhere like 14 AC, yeah. I know we need to buy your gear. So you start with 50 gold.
That isn't including my dex.
That does include your dex, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So you start with 50 gold. You're going to buy your leather armor, which costs... Oh God, I think it's 10 gold for leather armor. Let me double check though. I could
Yep.
be wrong. Armor leather is 5 gold.
5 gold.
Mhm.
And what is 2 daggers?
1 gold each.
Can I have like
You can have as many as you
2
like.
daggers
Mhm.
and a dagger in my boot?
Mhm.
So, and they were what?
1 gold apiece.
1 gold apiece. So 3 gold
Mhm.
and 5, so 8 for the.
Let's see. Then you also have a loot.
Loot?
Loot.
Oh, loot, yeah.
Loot probably costs 20 gold.
Really?
I mean, it's a musical instrument. They're hard to make back then.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else do you want?
What else
for
do I want?
Here. Probably a set of lockpicking tools.
Lock picking tools, yeah.
Those are kind of expensive.
Yeah.
Those are 30 gold. They're very expensive.
Really? I can't afford that. Afford that.
Uh-oh.
What was 20 gold?
The loot was 20.
Maybe I should have another instrument.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm singing, so I can't put anything to my mouth.
No.
A harp is about the same.
Yeah. You could make some money and buy loot. You could steal loot. You could acquire the loot later on.
You know what? I'm gonna. Lockpicking tools is not something you can just buy anywhere.
You could find them in the right town, but they'd be difficult to come by.
Yeah,
Definitely.
the loot would be easier.
Much easier to find.
Let's do that. I'm kind of thinking the loot was my main income thing. But yeah, okay. So lockpicking tools. So that's another 10 instead,
Mm-hmm.
and no loot. Yeah, what else do I need? How much is pen and paper, if I need it?
The paper is pretty expensive. You can get like papyrus.
Yeah.
Or papyrus paper is like 8 silver for each sheet of papyrus. Ink is not on here.
You know what? I'll wait until I need it.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do that. What else would I need?
Let's see. Rope.
Rope. Yeah.
Rope is Silk rope is 10 gold for 50 feet and doesn't weigh very much. It only weighs 8 pounds. Hemp rope is 1 gold for 50 feet, but it weighs a lot more. It weighs like 20 pounds.
What did the other one cost?
Silk is 10 gold.
10 gold.
For 50 feet. If you want half that, you can, 5 gold for 25 feet.
No, I'll wait
Okay.
with the rope.
Okay.
You always need rope, don't you?
It's always useful to have.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy the 5
Mm-hmm.
gold silk rope.
Okay. So 25 feet.
Yeah.
Let's mark that down somewhere.
And you deal in feet, you have to help me out there.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Roughly, we'll just say 3 feet is 1 meter.
Okay.
It's not exact, but it's pretty close. So we'll do 2 pounds is 1 kilo, which again, not exact, but fairly close.
Depends on the feet.
Yeah. Okay. So, do you have any preference of where you would like to start? In a small town, big town?
Big town, I'm thinking.
Town?
If that's no
Should be
issue.
fine. I don't know. Let's see. Let's find a big town for you to start in.
No, well, maybe it's better with a small town. It just limits the possibilities of mischief.
Well, do you have a preference?
Maybe I should have. What about like somewhere in between?
Okay.
Medium-sized town.
Hold on, what has happened? The website crashed. I think Firefox crashed. Oh, there we go. Hey, look at that. Medium town. Okay, we're going to start you in Onskar. It is a town built up next to a mountain. There's a dwarven population that lives within the mountain and will kind of come out and work with the people outside, but outside of the town is mostly a human population. Some dwarves will come out from time to time. There's a few other sub-races that live here, but it's mostly human. It sits on the Kings River, which heads from the mountain range right here, this big gray thing, all the way down to the ocean on the left. There's 2 other cities nearby, very small towns, really more like villages, and then a long stretch that takes like 5 days to walk before you get to the next real segment of civilization.
5 what? 5 days?
5 days to walk. Maybe 4 days to walk. There's a large desert to the north called the Crown Sands. It has lots of hills and sand dunes and whatnot. And down below is the capital in Crown Spring, near this lake. That's kind of the lay of the land sort of area.
All right.
Who is Dirk? Why was he born here? Does he live here? Has he moved here? Who is he? What is he up to? Where does he come from?
Okay. I think he comes from another place where he lived at like an orphanage, and he was made like his parents were taken away from him at a young age, and he grew up at a cruel orphanage where the proprietors were not good people, and that's where he got bad inside, I guess. And now he's just traveling around and
Okay. So we will throw on some appropriate music, I guess. Where it is. There we go.
You said it best before we started. You said that somebody just wants to watch the world burn.
Yeah.
That's Dirk.
Dirk just wants to watch the world burn?
Yeah.
All
Slowly.
right. So, you are in a tavern in Onstar. It's a fairly rowdy afternoon. A bunch of people hanging around. This is very near to the mountain, so there's a few dwarves here speaking in Dwarven, which you don't understand, I don't think. We didn't go over what languages you speak. Is there any reason why you would speak?
No.
Okay.
We'll get to that later.
Okay.
Yeah.
People go to and fro. There's little tables for little people, big tables for big people. A large door in front, and the building is kind of half sunk into the ground, so that the dwarves are at ground level. And there's some stairs leading out. There's some lights, torches, kind of in sconces along the place to give a light to the room. There's a small fire going, but it's in the middle of the afternoon, so there's not too much need for heat.
How many patrons?
Maybe 15 people around here.
15.
Mm-hmm. One bartender, one waitress, who was very overworked, hustling to and fro.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I approach the bar.
Huh?
I buy a drink. And I ask the tender, do you mind me putting on a show? Do you mind me singing?
Go for it.
All
As
right.
long as you're good. If you get booed out of the place, then it's not my fault.
Well, right. And I'm not gonna sing you, but he just empties his glass in one sip, and he turns around and he starts announcing himself. He says, "Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Dirk. I am here to pour sweet music into your ears, and I accept donations in this little." And I put something on the ground too. I don't know if I have anything, like a pouch or a hat. Can I have a hat?
Sure, you have a hat.
I have a hat with a feather in it. Put that on the ground, and I start singing. A tale about a very large, heavy-chested woman who lived by the river, and who many a man came to visit. Who was named Hilda.
Okay.
And I hope that it generates some cover.
Well, give me a charisma check. D20 plus your charisma.
5 plus, what's that?
14.
No, and 19. Yeah.
19 is it's not that great.
No.
You start off your song. Maybe you're a little nervous. Maybe this crowd just doesn't really like large-chested women named Hilda.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, not a lot of people pay attention. You don't get any boos, but people kind of look over their shoulder and shrug and go back to what they're doing. You finish your song, and there's not a single copper in your hat.
Not a
single copper.
Okay. Okay. I try a few other songs, but maybe decide that this is not my crowd. This is just hillbillies. They don't understand what the true art of my poetry is. So yeah, I'm gonna book a room if there's a room.
Yeah, room by itself is 2 silver, but if you want room and food for tonight and tomorrow morning, like dinner and breakfast, it's 5 silver.
5 silver. We'll do that. And the drink?
We can just include the drink. It's like 2 copper, so it comes with the room.
Okay. So you said what?
5 silver.
5 silver, and that's
half a gold.
Half a gold.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I find a table, maybe a lone table, but near some other folks, and I put out my ears, try to listen to the buzz, and I eat my food.
Okay. Is there any sort of information that you're looking for, or you'd rather
local going on?
Are you looking for trouble? Are you looking for?
I'm looking for trouble. Rumors and Yeah, just all sorts of things that I, yeah,
But not necessarily like rumors about, two people.
arguing. Yeah,
But not like, did you hear that the so-and-so's boy hooked up with the so-and-so's girl? Not like,
yeah, that also.
sort of
yeah,
thing?
yeah.
okay. Alright, let's see what sort of trouble we can find. So, you're sitting here for 10, 20, 30 minutes, something like that. And down, not next to you, but a couple at the bar are having an argument. It starts off kind of, clearly they're having an intense conversation, and slowly the hand gestures get a little bit bigger, the voice gets a little bit louder, and it ends with the woman splashing a beer in the guy's face, smashing the cup on the ground, and saying, well, if you didn't want that, then you shouldn't have slept with her, and storming out. He looks frustrated, clearly looking around for someone or something.
What does he look like?
He's a skinny-ish man, maybe about your height, but definitely thinner in frame. He's got longish hair, beer all over his face. He's got a leather jerkin on. He looks like maybe some sort of craftsman type guy. And he's very embarrassed. Red face, kind of what little beard he's got is kind of bristling and sticking out.
Okay.
And he looks around, spots someone, not you, but the guy at the table next to you. There's two people up there, and storms over, leans in, and starts whispering to them. Over the din of the rest of the room, it's kind of hard to hear what he's saying, but it looks like he's introducing himself and trying to negotiate something with them.
Okay. I can't shuffle over to hear it? I mean, still sitting at my table?
From where you're sitting right now, you can't hear anything. If you got a little bit closer, maybe, but they might see you. It depends on how you want to go about getting closer.
Okay. Can I push some of my food off the table and kick it in that direction?
Yeah.
Go like I'm gonna pick it up.
Sure. So you
very slow.
Reach for a drink, knock the stuff off the table, go over to get it. You hear the words, "Come on, she's just a girl. You could kill her, no problem." As you pick up your stuff, one of the guys says, "No. It's ridiculous. I'm not going to murder anyone for you." He says, "But it'll be easy. It's just some quick money." And by that time, you've got your things back and are moving back to your table. And it seems that the guy is very adamantly like, "Nope, not going to do it. Nope."
Okay. I sit back down and I keep my attention on the guy that asked him to kill him, to kill her, and I'm gonna follow him when he leaves.
Conversation doesn't last too much longer. Eventually, he gets up and storms out in a huff, still very upset. Beer still kind of like dripping from the side of his head, and leaves.
Yeah, I follow him. I try to pass him up at a place where there's as few people watching as possible.
It's a fairly busy town, and it's in the middle of the day, so there's a lot of people about. But you see him head up the main street for a little ways, turn off into a side street.
Yeah, that's when I approach.
Okay, he gets half a block down the side street when you catch up to him.
Yeah, I say, "Excuse me, sir.
What do you want?"
Hello, my name is Max. I'm sorry to disturb you. I was sitting in the bar and I couldn't help but overhear your conversation. And
she's a filthy liar.
Yeah, I know she is because I think I know her.
You do?
Yeah, I've seen her around bars, other bars.
You've seen her with other men?
I have.
Tramp, I knew it.
Yeah, but your predicament. Maybe I can be of assistance, perhaps.
It's a strange look in his eyes. Yeah. What sort of assistance?
Well, I'm a man with a lot of talents. I can sing, I can play the lute, and yeah, I have a lot of talents.
I don't have need for a singer.
No, I know. You have need for something else, and I pull back my cloak to reveal the dagger.
He looks at it and looks at you. Is this a real offer?
Surreal as it gets. While I'm talking to him, I want to check him out closer. I want to. Does he wear any jewels?
Not on his neck. On his hand, he has a ring that looks like it's made out of platinum.
On his right hand?
On his right hand. Index. Ring finger of his right hand.
Okay. That's it.
That's the only outstanding jewelry on him.
Does he have any birthmarks or tattoos or?
No tattoos. No birthmarks, but his face is pretty recognizable. It's a little bit long, and he's got like pock marks as if he had some sort of scarring on his face from maybe some sort of fever or measles or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, so I say, what exactly is it you need done?
I'd like to see Marge dead. Dead in the river, if possible.
Dead in the river. That's...
She always hated water.
Yeah.
Hated the river. Great to see her drown.
Well, that is, fortunately for you, one of my specialities.
How much is this going to cost me?
Well, you know, it's a messy business.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not easy to make people just go away.
I can't have her sullying my good name, spreading rumors about things that ain't true.
No.
Especially if you've been seeing her around with other men, and she's the...
Yeah, a lot of other men, actually. And a dwarf also. Yeah. So, it's gonna cost you 50 gold.
I'm a watchmaker. Would you... I can give you 20 gold and a very, very fine pocket watch. Easily
Like
worth
watches.
40 or 50 gold. Easily.
Okay, let's say 30 gold for a loot and a pocket watch.
I'm going to have trouble coming up with more than 20. I'm a little strapped for cash at the moment. How
Well,
about...
do you need this thing done, or is it just... This is not important to you?
It's important, I just... How about 10 gold and 2 pocket watches? That's definitely at least 90 gold value total.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? Let's stick to the first plan. 20 gold, pocket watch,
Okay.
and yeah. Okay. So her name,
Marge.
Marge. Just Marge.
Marge, yeah.
Where does she live?
Well, she lives right at the base of the mountain. He points across, down the alley, across the main street. You take that alleyway the other way for 2 blocks, take your first right, go all the way to the base of the mountain. She's got the green roof, the green copper roof.
Okay. And what is your name?
Do you need my name?
I don't need it.
Then why don't we just leave it at this?
Okay. I go to shake his hand. I want to assess how difficult would it be for me to remove his ring as I'm shaking his hand.
Give me a pickpockets check if you want to try and pull it off right now.
Can I assess the...
It's more or less just going to be a pickpockets check,
Okay.
one way or the other.
Okay.
That's your level of ease with things.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna try that.
So the way pickpockets works is you have a 30% chance.
That's not much.
If you fail, they don't necessarily notice. If you fail by, let's say if you roll a 1, it's a D100, right? So if you roll 30 or less, you succeed. If you roll 100%, they notice. However, if he's like a 3rd level fighter, then you need to, if you roll a 91 or higher, he notices.
Okay.
If he's a 10th level fighter, if you roll a 70 or higher, he notices.
Okay.
Etc. Etc. So it's a 3% chance per level to notice, for him to notice what you're doing.
Okay. Yeah. So you just okay.
30 or lower on those dice.
30 or lower.
Yeah.
That's really bad news.
I mean, but 1 in 3 chance to slip someone's ring. It's not that bad. You're 32. Oh, so close.
That's not. Oh.
So close. You almost get it.
Oh my god.
You almost get it off, but he pulls his hand away at the last moment. It just catches on the fold of the skin and doesn't quite come off.
But he doesn't notice.
He doesn't notice.
Okay. Yeah, I go back to the bar.
Okay. Before you leave, he tells you that he'll meet you back here in this spot. When can you do it by?
I need a couple of days. 3 days.
All right.
Let's meet up in 3 days.
3 days right here.
Yeah.
Okay. Done. You guys split ways.
Cool. Yeah, I go back to the bar. If my food is still there, I finish it.
Mm-hmm.
If not, I go to my room.
Mm-hmm.
If it's time to sleep, I sleep.
Mm-hmm.
I hang out in the bar and then I go to
You
sleep.
kill some time and
Yeah.
go to sleep. Just next day. Next day comes around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna start out by finding this copper colored house at the base of the mountain.
Not too hard. You follow the directions he gave you. You're pretty accurate. You find this copper-colored house. It is 3 stories tall. It is. It looks like it was built right against the mountain, but not inside of it.
Okay.
It is made out of stone. The roof is copper-colored. The 3rd floor has a balcony that sticks out of it. The
Yeah.
2nd floor has some windows, and the ground floor is just a door and windows.
Okay.
This district area is actually a little bit nicer than the rest of town, as you've noticed. The buildings are all a little bit, outside's a little bit nicer. No one's coming like painted, dicks and balls on the walls. There's some flowers here and there. It's not a great part of town, but it's kind of nice.
Okay.
It's pretty decent.
Yeah. Okay. I like as discreetly as possible. Just do a perimeter around the house.
Yeah, you can only go on 3 sides because the back side is right against the mountain.
The mountain. Okay.
And the mountain here is just a sheer cliff that goes straight up. It looks like someone came and just chopped the mountain down and just right up and down.
Okay. Yeah. So one entrance.
2 entrances. There's the front door, and actually on one side of the house, there's a little servant's entrance that goes downstairs.
Okay. So it's big enough to have servants living there, or
Maybe once upon a time, maybe now. Hard to tell, but it has a servant's entrance on the side.
okay. How about the other side of the? It lies on a road. Like
The
a
front is
city.
on a road. The sides have. There's like a little garden on one side. That's the side that has a servant's entrance. And the other side is just like a little alleyway that runs to the back. And there's some, it's like a little bit of a drain. It looks like that's where they throw their waste out.
Yeah.
And the water will wash it down into the street.
Okay. Where is the river at?
If you are facing the mountain and her house, the river is to your left.
Okay.
Which the servant's side is on the left as well.
Okay. So the river is close.
It's like 100 meters down the
100
street.
meters. Okay. That's
It's close, but it's not right there.
no.
No.
What's on the other side of the road? Across from
More houses.
no bars in the vicinity.
Not right around here. You did pass a couple of shops behind you. There was a what do you call them, a jewelry maker and gem cutter. You noticed because of the sign up front that has a big diamond sitting on it, and standing up front is a large half-orc mercenary with his arms crossed, chainmail with spikes on his shoulders, and a big battle axe at his side.
Yeah.
Guarding the entrance.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. What other shops are there? If I go, I'm gonna go into the center of town.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a church?
Mm-hmm. There are a lot of churches in town.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Most of them are kind of small. There's one big main center church, and as is the tradition in this part of the world, each church has a little altar to all the different gods. Usually the gods of good are up front and center. The gods of evil are in the back. The door goes like, if you enter through the church and either go to your left or to your right, and behind you, you'll get to like the little shadowy alcoves where the gods of darkness are, the bad gods. And as you go forward towards the front, you get to better and better and better gods until the up front left is the god of life, goddess of life, and up front right is the god of order.
Okay. And the evil gods are what?
Malchus is in your back left of the church, god of chaos, and Varasi, god of death, is in your back. Goddess of death is in your back right.
Okay. I'm not really a man of the faith.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really pray to any gods.
Okay.
But I am going to go into the temple. I'm going to.
There's some small ones and there's a large one.
Where would one go if you wanted like a token of the god, like a necklace or something that says this?
You could go to any of these churches and they will sell these things for you. You can usually buy very cheap ones made out of wood, or if you want the high quality, the actual emblem of the god. For the god of order, it would be, forgetting what their symbols are. But you could like buy the wood one for a couple copper, or you could buy the ones that are made out of platinum for tens and tens of gold. So you can get crappy and good things, but you can buy them at the churches where they make them.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna buy, what do you call him, Malcolm?
Malchus.
Malchus. Yeah, I'm gonna buy a token from him, like a crappy one. When I buy it, I go in, approach the shop with my head like down in front of my eyes, and I just buy it quickly and leave.
Okay. They make tokens for all the gods, and the people that do so are generally kind of neutral in the world, and they understand that you need both sides, but you still get a dark look as you shell out a silver for the token.
A silver, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I leave discreetly and try to hide my face as much as possible. And I walk around town, try to get a feel for the town. When I have been moving around town for a bit, I return to the woman's house, Marge's house, and I find a place where I can stake it out without looking too suspicious. Is there anything I can? Is there like a place where, like a plaza where they sell vegetables or?
Down the street, she's kind of like in the middle of the block. If you go to the end of the block where there's crossroads, there's a small market. Just a couple of shops set up, mostly like stands that people come and make in the morning.
Yeah.
That's about 40 or 50 meters away.
Yeah. Okay. I should have asked a lot more questions than I did. An experience. Okay. I'm gonna find a place at that market.
Alright.
I'm gonna keep an eye out for her, but I'm not gonna, just search for her. I'm gonna stay in one place. I'm gonna keep an eye out for her. I'm gonna find a place where I can perhaps start to sing a bit, lay down my hat, and sing.
Okay. Give me another charisma check.
This one?
Yeah.
There we go.
Ooh, 18 and 14 is a 32. It's quite good.
Yeah.
You attract a small group of people who listen to you sing for a little while and toss you some copper coins. You get, what is that? 10 copper and 4 silver.
10 copper and 4 silver.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's just a 10-10-10 system, so 10 copper is a silver, 10 silver is a gold,
Yeah.
etc.
I'm sorry, you said 10 copper?
10 copper and 4 silver.
4 silver, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Okay.
Okay.
After the first, one of the songs is going to be about the evil god Malchus and his evil doings and something, if I can come up with that.
Yeah. The god of, he's a god of chaos, so he has all these.
Yeah,
horrible
I'm gonna
things.
sing about him like, you know, he's evil and he's bad, but not like I worship him.
Okay. Yeah, you know a song about once upon a time there were more gods in the world, and Verossi and Malchus together distracted the other gods with some big thing, and then went through and like killed a whole bunch of other gods.
Yeah.
Which is why there's so few evil gods left, is because Verossi and Malchus killed them all, and it's considered kind of a horrible thing that these gods are murdered, but also kind of one of those, well, you know, they killed some evil gods. It's not the bad.
Now we have only 2, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But it's a popular legend.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I gather up my hat, my earnings, and I haven't seen her in the. I sing pretty much through a couple of hours, I guess.
Yeah. You see her pop out of her house and come down in your direction towards the river.
Okay. Does she have any jewelry or tokens? Does she wear a nice dress?
Give me a perception check to see what level of detail you can spot on her.
Not very good.
You barely get a glimpse of her. You just notice that she's coming out and around, but she ends up going through so many different crowds of people that you can barely keep track of her, let alone distinguish anything about her.
Yeah, I try to follow her.
Pick up your hat and your gear and head out. She goes almost all the way towards the river and then takes a right and heads towards the mountain. And kind of comes out onto this area where there's a little bit of a wall built around this giant waterfall that comes out of the mountain. So maybe 10 meters from the pool where the waterfall hits is a cordoned off area. And in this area there are a couple of monks in red and gold robes practicing fighting back and forth.
Okay.
She heads up to one of the older looking monks who's sitting on the sidelines watching and engages him in conversation for a little bit while you stand well away.
I'm thinking about going back to her house now. Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
I'm gonna go back to the house. What time of day is it?
It's like 3 or 4.
Okay, so
Yeah,
still
1600.
very light outside.
Yeah.
And the house is placed so if I were to break into one of the windows, it would be noticed.
Maybe if you went into one of the side windows,
Yeah.
it would be less noticeable, but if anyone's walking down the street and glances that way,
Yeah.
they would see it.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna wait till nightfall.
Okay.
I'm gonna go back to the inn, pay another 5 silver,
5 silver. Mm-hmm.
and yeah, eat and sing through the night until
Until it's time for murder.
Until it's time for murder, yeah.
All right. Why don't we take our first break here?
Yep.
And we'll come back in a few minutes with some more Tales of the Wandering Bard. See you guys on the other side.